Good morning and welcome to the final day of my tour around Provence. I'm spending this morning in Avignon, and later today, or this afternoon, I have to leave for Marseille in order to catch my flight back to London. Just walking along Cours Jean Jaurès. Used to be called Cours Bonaparte until 1925, when the street was renamed. But I'm walking through this little park and I'm just noticed there's an English red telephone box. Now this is a K6 model. It was designed by Sir Giles Gilbert Scott. But what's it doing here in Avignon? They've turned it into a little library. But I've spent quite a few days in and around the area around Avignon walking around, and I can find no reference to Colchester because Avignon has been twinned with Colchester since 1972. But this telephone box is actually a link to Colchester. Now you're wondering probably how, so I'll explain. The telephone box was made by Walter Macfarlane and Company, and they merged with Saracen Foundries in 1850, and subsequently Saracen Foundries were taken over in 1965 by Allied Foundries. Now Walter Macfarlane and Company actually made the bandstand in Colchester's Castle Park, and it's that connection through a Glasgow foundry that I can link Avignon and Colchester. Quite a strange connection, but it's the only one I've found so far, unless of course you know of any others in Avignon which actually link to Colchester or Wetzlar, because I have found no links to Wetzlar in Germany either, apart from the K6 telephone box manufactured by Walter Macfarlane and Company. Absolutely brilliant to see that. Quite a surprise. I found a postal box in Lisbon, British postal box, Type B postal box, last year, and to see a little bit of England here, perhaps that is the connection. Perhaps there's a little bit of England here, and perhaps there's something from Germany as well. But I might just find that later on today, if it exists here in Avignon. But there we go. So let's walk through this little park. It's actually rather nice here in the morning. The morning sun. The sun's coming out. Should be about 19 degrees today, which is quite pleasant. Just walk down these steps. Just walk down the steps to these little gardens. These gardens are the old cloisters from St Marshall's Temple Priory, Benedictine Priory that was once founded here. The original priory dates from 1346. It's just nice to see these old walls here in situ. It really is rather nice to see them. See beautiful little gardens here and water features. I guess these ruins are overshadowed by some of the other major attractions on the other side of the city. But it really is beautiful here. Sunday morning, and you hear the bells ringing out for the morning service. Absolutely beautiful. I do love hearing church bells. It's really rather pleasant just walking through this little garden. Yeah, it's very pleasant here. You hear the birds in the trees, and it's quite peaceful, apart from the odd car that's going past. Let's walk down these steps and take a look at the ruins next to the church. These are rather impressive. Just looking up, you can see the arches and the decorative columns as well. Really rather pleasant. It's just a shame there's no information boards up about this ruin and the history of the building. Really is a shame. It's been my disappointment on this trip. Various historic monuments that I visited in Provence, they've all lacked historic boards, information boards. It'd be so interesting to sort of read up about them and find out more details about the history of the structure and the ruins. It's a great shame, great shame. It's rather pleasant here. But now let's just walk a little further around. I'm going to try and make my way back to the Palais de Papes. Try and find the cathedral and end up at the Palais de Papes and see what else we can discover in the city of Avignon. I don't have too much time today, but I want to have another lunch. Try and go back to that restaurant again that I was at the other day. They did make me very welcome. So I'll go back there. But these gardens here really are rather nice. Absolutely beautiful. Huge great plant pots. Just turn the camera around. Very pleasant indeed. And there's a statue here. Who's this one of? Theodore Aubanel, poet Provençal. He was indeed born on the 29th of March 1829, died on the 2nd of November 1886. He started writing poetry in French, but then switched to Provençal, which is a local dialect and language, slightly different to French. But his career was writing in Provençal. He was actually born to a family of printers. He went on to become a leading poet here in Provence. That's nice. It's nice to see statues of local people who have done well. But now let's head on to what else we can discover here in Avignon. Didier, and just ahead is St. Didier's Church. There are so many churches here in Avignon. I suppose once being the seat of the Holy Roman Empire, home of the popes, it's understandable that there were numerous churches built within the city. This is quite a beautiful one. It dates from 1350, the current building, replacing an earlier church that stood here since the 7th century. You can see the cafes getting ready for a brisk day's trading. I think they'll be lucky today with the weather. It's forecast to rain later. But it's such a beautiful city, it really is here. Oh, absolutely beautiful here. Stunning French architecture, all the quaint little shops and side streets and alleyways. This is a city that hasn't changed since it was laid out in medieval times. It's absolutely beautiful here. There's just so much history. Every corner you turn, there's history. And it's just, this square is rather beautiful. But let's head on and see what else we can discover here on my final day in Avignon. Into the Place Carnot. I actually walked here a few minutes ago, and the bells from the basilica opposite were ringing out, and what a fantastic sound they made. And of course they're visible. You can actually look up at the tower and actually see the bells swinging in the tower. Absolutely brilliant to see that. This is the Basilica Saint-Pierre. It was founded in 1358. They started building the facade of the basilica in 1512, and they completed it in 1524. But what's interesting is the main doors to the basilica. They're solid walnut, and the carving on them is absolutely incredible. It's carved by a man called Antoine Vollard in 1551. And the bell tower, well, that dates from 1495. And it's lovely to look up and see the bells swinging and hearing them as well. So I'll leave you with a few images of the bells pealing on a Sunday morning. I've had a really enjoyable morning just walking through the city of Avignon. There's so much to see here and I just couldn't do it justice in just a few short days. I'm going to have to return and come back here because there's just so much more that I want to see, including museums and other places in the countryside nearby. But I've come back to that lovely little restaurant I found the other day, ordered a fillet of beef with a ratatouille and potato au gratin. And the smell is absolutely delicious, really. Oh, that really is tasty. And I'm so glad I found this restaurant as well. Normally fairly good with restaurants when I travel. And this is another real gem that I found, so definitely want to come back to on another visit. But this is where I end the video, sadly. Thank you so much for watching this series. Another series will start very shortly from somewhere else. So if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow my journey, because there's definitely plenty more to come. Thanks for watching.